Good afternoon, traders. Part two of today's session. And I left you guys, I don't even remember when I sent that video out, but we were under the MAs, and I told you to pay attention between these, which was 30 earlier, but obviously that MA came down and brought price down with it. But you saw the struggle there. In fact, look at this. This is actually quite amazing. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 significant breakdowns from that moving averages, and they were pretty significant in length too. I mean, look at these. There's a 25, 30 hand. These were 30 handle swings. Okay, and you're going to get this when the volatility is like that. It just you got to pick your side of the market, And generally, it's when you're under the MAs like you are, that's the challenge, and you have to pay attention to it. And it is way oversold, and there's going to be value seekers, and I told you about that. It'll break out of that MA, wherever it will be the turning point. And look at this, and blew through this trend line. It's actually marching to unchanged, which I believe is somewhere around maybe 4410. It's possible. That's what I'm showing. Somewhere in between 4400 and 4410. So good 25, 30 handles of upside is possible. And, this is taking advantage of how price, especially in an extreme trading range, is so it's immensely powerful, and it produces unbelievable returns. So it's just about being patient and understanding that part of the game, and just let the MAs be your guide and watch that, and then that's the direction. So this is today's day. I don't know how this is all the way up here right now. You're gonna obviously it's gonna get exhausted at these higher highs. So I trade these accordingly, and understand that it's still vulnerable to pull down and pull down hard, but you can see the momentum for the day has changed, and at least for this session, they have pretty much got back almost everything except whatever's left over at in the early morning hours. So be careful. I would lean. I wouldn't let this thing go too far. It could come back all the way down to 60 and hold this trend line and still have some energy to go back and blow off 4400, which is, this is the number you're going to want to watch um, over the next few days, and how we handle this 200 MA will have a lot to say with whether or not this market is going to pull up, and it can go up as high as about 44.90, all depending on how much it chews up in the next days. Obviously, this trend line comes down, so will price, so. And this is coming all the way off of this. You see this. The bigger turn is all the way up here, but I don't see that happening. Everything is going to come and go. In fact, let's take a look at this chart, because this was a really interesting chart. Let me show you this, because this was that little shakeout when we were rallying, and it looked like we were rolling, but all it was were just bull flags. And we got it right here, and this was the breakout price. And I remember this area being really significant, and this is that entire area up in here. Okay, so let's get there first, and we'll talk about it. But this is how I look at the charts. I look back as far as I can to obtain as much information that I can to memorize these areas. That's all it is to me. It's just going back on these, and then they lock in, and I always will have these numbers in my head. Unfortunately, almost a little bit too much. But anyway, this is today's second half session. I just wanted to get on board to show you guys how to take advantage of both sides of the market, so no matter what the trend is. And this is now in a bear trend. It's going to start if it can get above around the 200, then it'll start going more neutral stage. It's still corrective, bear corrective, but you know it's going to need help to get marching. There's a lot of MAs that the price right now is underneath, and as long as it's underneath the 200, the swings they're going to bounce off it, or they're going to hit it and they're going to explode. So we're going to have to wait to see how it plays out. 25th of January. This is MR Strategies, guys. Have a great day.